This is Duke University.
A Wesley Covenant service is one of the occasional services of the Methodist Church, and it comes to us from the British Methodist Church. Let me be your servant, under your command. I will no longer be my own. It tends to be scheduled around the new year, and its emphasis on making covenant and recommitting one's life to discipleship under a loving triune God is a service that would fit in well with our tendency to make New Year's resolutions and want to start the new year out on a good, strong footing.
This covenant renewal service challenges us to stop and reflect, particularly at the beginning of the new year when we tend to think about making improvements to our lives. When most of us make New Year's resolutions, we think in terms of covenant making and covenant keeping.
It is comprised of a series of prayers and also admonishments from the presiding minister to the congregation. Very forthright statements about the congregation's willingness to submit themselves to God, to submit themselves to the teachings of the church, to enter into covenant and to renew covenant with God very thoughtfully. Consider what your sins are. Consider the laws of Christ, how holy, strict, and spiritual they are, and whether you, after having carefully considered them, are willing to choose them all. Be sure you are clear in these matters. See that you do not lie to God. And a great many of our students will, and faculty as well, will offer the covenant prayer on their knees. That's not an everyday occurrence in weekly worship. And so there's an intensity, an intentionality about this service that is very striking. I'm always reminded that the word covenant has very ancient roots. Covenant is from an old Assyrian word that literally means to shackle, to handcuff. And so when we make covenant with God and God makes covenant with us, we are binding ourselves irrevocably to one another. And we make covenant with God in a moment of clarity so that we can be bound together, so that in times of temptation, in times of distress, in times of weakness, we cannot be separated.